How you doing, everybody? Jonathan here, and in this video, well, first, since I know it's not going to be a long video, I'm going to give a shout out to Josh. I want to thank you for giving me those tips on the row machine. Very helpful. He was actually one of the first people to recognize me outside of, or from my YouTube videos. So thank you for making me feel kind of famous for a couple of minutes. By the way, listen to Jesse. He knows what he's talking about. I worked with him for a very long time. Now, in terms of this video, I'm going to talk about why I would never operate a women's only boot camp. Now, you may or may not know that my day job is running a boot camp. I have my own BFF boot camp. I've had it in operation for the last 3.5 years. I let everybody in, and I essentially train 3 hours a day at max, Monday through Friday, some days 2 hours, and I've been very successful at it. It supported me, so I think that at the very least gives me minimal qualification to speak on this topic. Now, if you run a women's only boot camp and you've been successful and you're happy with it, I'm not going to tell you to shut your whole business down, but I would invite you to consider these points if you were ever to consider, hey, maybe I should let men into my boot camp. So number one, the face of fitness is changing. Strong is the new sexy, not skinny. And I can give you 3 examples of this. Number 1 is going to be tennis's Serena Williams. Number 2 is going to be CrossFit's Camille LeBlanc-Bazinet. And number 3 is going to be UFC's Ronda Rousey. These are 3 examples of women that have high visibility in the fitness world, and they're not twigs walking around. I guess you can say Jillian Michaels as well. They're not twigs walking around. They're not wearing, these spandex outfits. It's about being strong. It's about being able to do things, about performance. And I think women in general are starting to turn their minds toward the idea of lifting weights being an okay thing. No longer is there the fear that you're going to get really bulky. And when it comes to the marketing that I see for women's only boot camps, it actually gets underneath my skin as they talk about exercises that are geared specifically for women. And in my opinion, there is no such thing, all right? So, for instance, if you have somebody that walks into your boot camp, they have 36% body fat, they want to, trim their thighs or whatever, which is the goal of just about every woman that I meet. I want to, bring down my waistline a little bit. I want to firm and tone my butt. I want to tighten up my arms. Are you trying to tell me that their best option is a lateral leg lift and some hip raises? All right, squats are squats. Squats are good for you no matter whether you're a man or whether you're a woman. There's no such thing as women-based exercises. The only thing that separates the men from the women, in my estimation, is the amount of body fat that they need to shoot for. Whereas, women will carry more body fat than men. But the way that they get there is exactly the same. They have to move. They have to lift weights. They have to make use of the overload principle. All right. They have to increase the amount of work that they do in order to see a response from their body. All right. So when they say women only exercises, that immediately gets pushback from me, because there's no such thing. Fitness is fitness no matter how you slice it. And I think if you were to just allow guys in, you'd find that you wouldn't have to change your routine much, and you'd be able to see the same kind of results. The second point of why you may want to allow everybody in is because I understand that a lot of women want a women's only boot camp at the onset because they don't want to experience the anxiety that they have in the gym. But you have to understand that the gym is a free-for-all, all right? There's no supervision, there's nobody running the show. So the guys that are generally in the weightlifting area or that kind of creep around, trying to get laid in the gym, they are just standing around almost stalking whomever they will find. All right? So I see it all the time. Hey, baby, you're doing this wrong. Let me give you some advice, blah, blah, blah. That doesn't happen in boot camp. Moreover, think about it. When you go to your local big box gym, that doesn't happen in the aerobics classes. How many guys do you generally see in the aerobics classes? Almost none. And maybe that's why women go there, because guys won't generally go there. They want to stick to their weights, okay? So the kind of guy that you're going to draw into your boot camp is not that musclehead guy. It's not the Casanova kind of, I'm just here to hit on you guy. And moreover, you control the environment. Like in my boot camp, there's no time for the guys to hit on women. There's no time for the guys to stay around, because they're all doing work. So if you're the male trainer, or if you're the trainer, then you can control the males in your class. All right. The third point is, those guys that would come to your boot camp to, you know, throw heavy weight around and throw their weight around and hit on women like crazy. The types of guys that the women are trying to get away from. Now, this is no slight on CrossFit, because people know I love CrossFit, but they're going to the CrossFit gyms, okay? So that kind of guy that the women think that they need to worry about is not even entertaining the idea of going to your boot camp anyway. The kinds of guys that I get in my boot camp are generally really grounded guys that are over the whole, you know, rah-rah, you know, who can lift more than the other type of environment. They're over that in the gym. All they want is to come in and get a great workout. Here's another point. If I were to count all of the guys that I have in my boot camp, guess where 90% of them come from? They come as referrals from their wives. The women's only boot camps prevents you from getting referrals to the lowest hanging fruit out there, and that is their husbands. I have found that whenever it's feasible by scheduling, women love to work out with their husbands. And once the guys get in there, the guys love working out with their women. And it creates a great environment for couples to kind of get together, you know, not worry so much about the kids, and then just get work done. So you know, I'm never going to have, you know, 50% men, 50% women. Boot camp is always going to draw predominantly women into the class. But by making it women's only, you're cutting out a potential, you know, extra 20% of revenue that is going to be very beneficial, very motivating for the class, because the women in my class love when the guys are there. Women in my class ask to be paired with the types of guys that show up to my boot camp. So the types of guys that are willing to take instruction from you, that are willing to take a boot camp class they know is 80% women, are going to be the types of guys that you want in your class anyway. They're not going to be the slamming weights kind of, let me show you how you're doing this wrong kind of, let me hit on you, hey baby kind of guy. So if you were thinking about putting together a boot camp and you wanted to make it women's only, I would invite you to reconsider and make it open to everybody. You're going to find that no matter what, 80% of people that come to your boot camp are going to be women anyway. And from the guys that come in, a lot of them are going to be your boot campers' husbands anyway. So you're missing out on a great opportunity to make a lot more money. All right, so take advantage of it, and I think it'll really help you. There was one situation I almost forgot to mention. There's only one situation where I was encouraged to have a women's only boot camp, and that's because there's a large community of Orthodox Jewish women in my area. All right, and because of their religious beliefs, I can't touch, like I literally cannot touch them. And it makes it a little bit difficult. But, you know, I did not decide to go women's only. A couple of them joined, and you have to understand, you control the situation. We make it work. I don't touch them, and they have a great time. Even the guys that don't know their rules, you know, will often come in because they have to cover themselves. So they'll wear scarves, and they'll wear long skirts that go down to their ankles. So the guys, being that they're husbands of boot campers, will be told, oh, you know, well, she's, you know, she has this belief, so you can't touch her. But they're incredibly nice. So I've never had a problem with it. I would never run a women's only boot camp. I don't think it's necessary. You're going to get most of the women anyway, and most guys that can't handle an 80% woman class are going to see themselves out of the door regardless because they just can't handle it. So if you think about going women's only, I'd say just go boot camp and then create an environment that's inviting for everybody, an environment that you can control, and an environment that you make safe for all of your boot campers, and I don't think you'll have a problem. So I hope you found this video helpful. It was a little bit shorter than normal, but I didn't have a lot to say, so that's just what it is. But if you found this helpful, I definitely recommend that you share this on Google+, share this on Twitter, share this on Facebook, share this on YouTube, share this wherever you can to help me get the word out, because my job or my goal is to help as many trainers as possible. Definitely, if you just happen to stumble upon this video, subscribe to this channel, as I'm putting new videos up all the time on various topics that I see or hear from, to make sure that I can help you guys. Definitely add me on the Facebook, follow me on Twitter. If you have any questions, comment below. Your best bet to get to me is to private message me on Facebook or direct message me through Twitter, as I'm always checking those. and you may inspire a video. Most of the videos that I put up nowadays are responses to questions that I get. I just give them back to you in order and with my experience wrapped around it. So keep the questions coming, I'll keep the videos coming, and we'll keep this ball rolling. So remember to eat healthy, hydrate, drive safe. Stress levels don't give us some slap anybody. Love your clients, they will love you back. I will see you all tomorrow or the next day, and you have a